Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to take notes on solving radicals. I'm going to give you a couple of examples. Our objective for today was to describe transformations and learn how to do that. We're going to solve using radicals, and then we're going to check for extraneous solutions. Some of you guys asked me what extraneous meant, so we're going to learn that in today's lesson. Extraneous means any solution that is not part of the solution set. Okay, so if you have two functions and you intersect at one point, then that's one solution, which is what you learned in Algebra 1. If they intersect at more than one point, then that's two solutions. Okay, remember when we do the quadratic function, it always, not always, but it intersects the x-axis at two different points. So those are two solutions. Extraneous would be like if it didn't intersect at all. Okay? Okay, let's go ahead and start. I have a couple of examples to give you. So on a sheet of paper, go ahead and put your name, period, and class date. We're going to take notes on solving radical. Our first example, so we're going to call this example 1. It's going to be the square root of x plus 2 plus 4 equals to 7. Okay, if I asked you to solve for x, what would you do first?
Move over to the 4.
Yeah, you're going to move over the 4. How would you move over the 4?
Subtract 4.
You're going to subtract 4 from both sides. So you're left with the square root of x plus 2 equals to
3.
3. Good. We still need to get rid of the square root symbol, the radical. Okay, so how do we undo a radical? By squaring. We're going to square both sides of the equation. So I square both sides, and you're left with the square root of x. I'm sorry, the square root and the square, they end up canceling each other out. So you're just left with x plus 2 is equal to 3 squared. So what happened to the squared and the square root?
They cancel each other out?
Yeah, they cancel each other out. You're just left with x plus 2. Now can I solve for x?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you guys do first? Simplify or subtract? Okay, it's up to you, but 3 squared is 9. Okay? As long as you know in your head what you're doing, then that's okay with me. So you're going to subtract 2 from both sides, and what is 9 minus 2? 7. So x is equal to 7. This is a solution. And we always have to check our answers. Okay, do you know how to check your answers? Yeah, you're going to plug in 7 wherever you see an x. So instead of having x plus 2 plus 4, and the question is that equal to 7? Wherever I see an x, I'm going to substitute in 7. So I really have the square root of 7 plus 2 plus 4, and is that equal to 7? What is 7 plus 2? 9. What's the square root of 9? 3. What is 3 plus 4? 7. Is that correct or a true statement? Yes. So since 7 is equal to 7, this is an accurate solution. This is a real solution. Questions? No. Okay, let's go to number 2. Just can't be yawning on the video. You know? Like, who wants to watch that one? Nah, there it goes. Okay, example 2. The square root of x minus 12 equals to 2 minus the square root of x. Okay, what would you guys recommend we do first?
You're going to need to cancel out the 2 radicals first.
Okay, so should we cancel out the radicals or should we subtract or add first? Yeah, I would cancel out the radicals. Okay, because there's 2 radicals on both sides of the equation, you want to get rid of those first. Okay, and how would you do that?
Square.
Yeah, you're going to square this side and you're going to square that side. Okay, so the square root of x minus 12 squared x minus 12 is equal to 2 minus the square root of x times 2 minus the square root of x. So we're back to foiling. Okay, so how do I FOIL 2 minus the square root of x? What do I multiply first?
2.
Yeah, 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times the negative square root of x is negative 2 square roots of x. Okay, that's new for you guys, right? But it's just like if it was an x. 2 times the negative x would just give you negative 2x. It just so happens that this has a radical on it, okay? And then the next thing is to multiply negative x times, negative square root of x times 2 gives you negative 2 square roots of x. Good. And then finally, what is a negative x? What is a negative square root of x times a negative square root of x?
It's just gonna be positive cancel out. Wouldn't you put an exponent on top of it?
Okay, so let's show. Square root of x times the square root of x would give you the square root of x squared, and the square root and the squared cancel, so you're just left with 1x. Okay, so that was kind of complicated, right? It's all new. But just pretend they're x's. Alright, so I have x minus 12 is equal to 4 minus 2 square roots of x minus 2 square roots of x plus x. Can I simplify the square roots of x? Yeah, so what does that become? Yeah. Good. So this should actually be 4 minus 4 square roots of x plus x is equal to x minus 12. Now what do we do? Okay. Whatever, pretty much there's no right or wrong answer. What are you guys going to do first? Add 12? But you want to leave this by itself. So you don't want to move the 12 to that side. You want to move the 4 to the left side. Okay, so let's subtract 4 from both sides. So you're left with x. What's negative 12 minus 4? Negative 16 is equal to negative 4 square roots of x plus x. What do you say we get rid of next? Yeah, we're going to subtract x from both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. And what ends up happening to the x's? They cancel, they go away, they become 0. Okay, so you're left with negative 16 is equal to negative 4 square roots of x. Now add, because you're multiplying negative 4 times x, so you're going to divide both sides by a negative 4. What you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So now negative 4 divided by negative 4 just becomes a positive 1 square root of x equals to, what's negative 16 divided by negative 4?
Positive 4.
So it says that the square root of x is equal to 4.
And now you square it.
Good. So now the last step is we have to get rid of the square roots. So I'm going to square both sides. What's 4 squared?
2.
16 is equal to x. The square root of 4 is 2. Okay, and 4 squared is 16. So this is my answer. This is my solution. We need to check that this is actually a solution. So I go back to my original function. It was the square root of x minus 12 is equal to 2 minus the square root of x. Wherever I see an x, what am I going to substitute in there? 16. Okay. So you have the square root of 16 minus 12. The question is that equal to 2 minus the square root of 16? Okay, what's 16 minus 12? 14.
No, 4.
4. What's the square root of 4?
2.
2. Okay, so the question is the right side equal to 2? What is the square root of 16? 4. So what's 2 minus 4? Negative 2. Is 2 equal to negative 2?
No.
Nope, that is a false statement. So this is called an extraneous solution. If you were to graph the square root of x minus 12 and 2 minus the square root of x, they would not intersect at all. Okay? We're going to practice that in a little bit. So let's keep on with the solving. Yes? Can we move on? Example 3. Can you guys tell me when this is starting to go to 14? And it's 11, 11 right now. 5 is equal to the square root of x minus 2 minus 1. Okay, first thing we're going to do is add 1 to both sides. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 is equal to the square root of x minus 2. What do I need to do next? Square. Okay, take the square of both sides. What do I do to one side? I have to do to the other. So 6 squared gives me 36. And the square root and the square cancel each other out. Okay, how do you solve for x? Add 2 to both sides, and you're left with 36 plus 2 is 38. So x is equal to 38. That's your solution. So we have to check our work. We have to check to see if it's a real solution or extraneous solution. 5 equals to the square root of x minus 2 minus 1. Wherever you see an x, what are you going to plug in? 38. 38. Okay. Everything else stays the same. Is it true that the right side is equal to 5? Okay. So what's the 38 minus 2? 36. What's the square root of 36? 6. What's 6 minus 1? 5. So 5 is actually equal to 5. This is a real solution. Okay, your turn. I want you to solve the square root of x plus 15 is equal to 5 plus the square root of x. Let me do this one with you, okay? Because I think we're running out of time, and this is just like that other difficult one, okay? So we're going to square both sides. And then you're left with x plus 15 equals to 5 plus the square root of x times 5 plus the square root of x. So it was 2 easy examples and 2 difficult examples. We have to FOIL. So we're going to multiply. 5 times 5 gives you 25. 5 times the square root of x gives you 5 square roots of x. This is just like if it was a regular x, 5x, right?
So we just add the square root.
Yeah, you just add the radical. Very good. And the square root symbol. So 5 square roots of x. And then the square root of x and the square root of x, we figured out is only x. Okay, what's 5 plus 5? 10. So we actually have 10 square roots of x plus 1x and then plus 25 equals to x plus 15. What? You're going to subtract 25 from both sides. 15 minus 25 is negative 10. You're left with x minus